Alright, hello there guys, and welcome to the first in a new series. This is a game called Raft. This is one that I've personally been playing the hell out of for at least the last week or so. It's really enjoyable, so I decided maybe we'll make a new series on it with you. I do have a couple of saves already, one which I do on my Twitch stream, where I ask you guys, the community, to come in and join me, and we sort of build it all together. What I wanted to do with this series is basically just we'll start off slow and we'll go through and I'll try and explain the game as and when we go through it. Now I am going to be running this on a peaceful setting. Main reason being is because even though the easy is easy, for the purposes of the video and me having to you know, stop and explain things to you a lot, you do have things like the shark attacks your raft, the seagulls attack your crops, and stuff like that. So there's the other things happening that would make it more difficult for me to sort of like sit there and explain something into detail, because it's literally like at random points this stuff can happen, and then with the way my brain works, I get easily distracted to completely forget what I was doing. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we'll just call our world name YouTube, and yeah, I'll leave it on friends can join. Nobody else is online at the minute anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so basically to start off with, you have the standard creative mode, which basically you're invulnerable and you can build whatever you want, however you want, when you want. You don't have to worry about farming resources or anything like that. Is literally like a build mode, basically. That's all it is. So the peaceful is the one that I'm going with. This, I do have quite an extensive raft already on a different peaceful playthrough. The advantage that this gives is it gives you a chance to explore the game. It gives you a chance to explore what you can do with the game and how you get there. More importantly is the how you get there part. So you still have to research stuff, you still have to scavenge, you still have to, you know, you can only build your raft as and when you get the components to do so. So this is a nice way to introduce you to the game, so you can get comfortable with it. You know what sort of things you need to focus on, what things can be left, and you know what sort of things you can expect from the game without having the dangers of being eaten by a shark or having to deal with seagulls in their annoying issues. And there's but you do still have to manage your health, and you still have to manage your hunger, and you have to manage your thirst as well. Sleep is not a thing in the game, although you can sleep. It doesn't really do anything, so you don't have to worry about that. So we're going with peaceful purely because it's a nice, simple, easy way that I can go through the game with you guys and basically explain what's happening, what's going on, and obviously, hopefully, if there's anything that you guys are starting on and you're not too sure of, obviously, by all means, give me a shout in the description below, in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitch, twitch.tv /manga_mad, and you know, I can help you out as much as I can on there. So anyway, so without further ado, we'll get into the game, and we'll just create it, and away we go. So I'm hoping this is going to be a part of a series. We can sort of build this together. By together, I mean me doing, you watching, and obviously what we can do as well is, as time progresses, you guys can leave ideas in the the comments down below, and you know, I can try and incorporate into the thing. So you start off with, and you literally have that this is your raft. That there is the shark that constantly bothers you if you're on the normal. So all you have to do is you have your hook, and everything pretty much everything wears out eventually. So everything has a bar, as you can see, just in the bottom corner, and I can't hit crap at the moment. Here we go. So we've got a palm leaf. So your job at this point in time is to just pick stuff up as quick as you can. Your main, there is no main priority. Everything, you kind of need everything. That's one thing I will say starting off. is just keep collecting. As long as if you can build storage and keep hold of it, collect everything you need, because what you think you may have a load of now, trust me, as you get later on and your build or your raft gets more should we say exotic, and you want to add more and more stuff to it, you will find there will be one particular resource or another that you're always running out of. So just be mindful of that. So obviously, as you can see, we've got the inventory slots on the bottom, which is currently showing our wood. So that would usually have your as you get later on in the game, you can they're basically your fast inventory items. So you would have them, and it's like 1 to 0 on your keyboard, and then you just basically select them as you go on, as you get the extra tools that you acquire and stuff like that. So that's one little thing. Obviously, your bars on the bottom left hand corner, your top one is your water. That is the one that will drain faster than anything else, which is kind of cool, because that's, you know, a little bit more real to life, I would say. You know, obviously they always say that you'll always die of thirst before you die of hunger. Barrels, big thing. If you can get a barrel, get it. Barrels contain lots of good stuff that will help, especially with food and things like that. So anyway, back to the bars. So the middle one then is your food bar. As I said, this will go down slower than the health bar, than the water gauge, but it will decrease, so you have to be mindful of that. Now what happens is when either of those bars, you can see just on the far left of the bar, there's like 2 little nicks in the bar. That is your danger zone. That is when you get to that point, your character starts struggling. You start walking really slowly. So don't be on the other side of an island, or like in the middle of the ocean, miles away. You know, if you're swimming about trying to pick stuff up, you really do not want that to be happening when you're that far out, because you will not make it back in time. So just be wary of that, and especially on the higher difficulties, you don't have the option to respawn with all your stuff. So if you do respawn, everything you carry in is gone. So just bear that in mind. So we've been spending a couple of minutes, and then obviously you've got your health bar underneath, which is kind of self-explanatory. Bottom right hand corner is just basically sort of action point. It tells you what sort of stuff you've picked up and collected as you go along. So we've collected a good amount of stuff now. So starting from the left to right, obviously you've got the hook, which you can see is wearing out, so we will need to build a new one shortly. But we've got 20 planks of wood, we've got 14 palm leaves, we've got 8 lots of plastic, 2 potatoes, 1 item of scrap, and 1 what's it called? Raw beet. So there we go. So these are your, like, part of your initial food source at the beginning, and these are your initial products as well. Okay, moving on. And just one other point of note, guys. If you do notice any sort of like weird cuts in the videos, as it said in the description of it, I am a stay-at-home dad. So I'm trying to record whilst looking after my kids as well. For the most part, they are fine, but they do need me occasionally. So if there's any sort of like weird stopping and starting going on, and like you'll notice like the health bars and all have dropped, that's just basically I've had to pause the recording because I have to go and deal something with the children. So just to give you a heads up on that, it's not you having a thing. So at this moment in time, where were we? So yeah, so we were going through picking up stuff. So when you press the tab key, this brings up your inventory. So this is your main sort of backpack, if you will. So you can, if you hold left shift while you're doing so, if you click on whatever item you want, it will put it in your backpack. And alternatively, when you do get storage later on, whatever's in your backpack, if you press the left click, it will basically, you don't have to drag it and drop it, it will automatically put it in there for you. So anyway, when you press tab, you've got all of your bars on the left hand side here. So you've got your food, craftables, this is other, so this is your research table and where your storage and other bits and pieces are. You have your tools section, and obviously this will all expand as you research through the game. So you have your tools, you have your weapons and stuff will be in there as well. Then next one down is going to be equipment. This is mainly your stuff that you will get later on, like oxygen bottles and stuff like that. Resources, so these will be your what I call your refinable items. So things like scrap get refined into nails, and other stuff like your your palm leaves get done into rope. You get clay and sand to make bricks, etc. So this is where that sort of list lies. The navigation, obviously self-explanatory. You get your anchor, your sail. The streamer is good, so it tells you which which direction the wind is going, and your decorations, obviously, again, very self-explanatory. So what we need to do first is we need a hammer, because the hammer is what we need to build the thing. So as you can see there, we need 20 planks, 4 planks, which we have. And we need 2 rope, which we don't have, but rope is made from palm leaves. So all you have to do is, as long as you've got the palm leaves in your inventory, either in your fastbar or in the inventory, you can just hit plus, and then done. You don't have to navigate back down to here, do the rope, and then go back again. You can literally just do it straight off the bat. So 1 hammer coming right up. So there we go. Hammer is now number 2 in our inventory bar, and there we go. So with this, it automatically defaults to the base for your I'll get the words out in a minute. The base squares for your raft. So as you can see here, we can make our raft a little bit bigger, and as you can see, it uses up wood and it uses up plastic. Obviously, the plastic helps make us float. So like I said, hoard everything as much as you can carry. Just keep carrying it, and obviously as time goes on, get the storage. That is one thing I will say, is do not neglect anything as much as you possibly can. As much as you can collect and keep and put storage on, the better. So first things first, what we need to do more so really than anything else is give ourselves a little bit of space to work with. Because we're alright for the minute, but we are going to need to start looking after ourselves with regards to water and food. So just trying to catch all these barrels and things. So there's lots of plastic and stuff coming our way, and you will come across islands and things later on, but obviously we'll get that later on in the playthrough. So the other thing I will say is, if you are kind of your raft is drifting towards stuff, don't waste it. Don't be impatient like that. Then let's create another hook. So 18 planks, 1 plank which we have, 2 plastic which we have, so that's fine. I usually would say always try and make a spare while you've got the resources, because it may come a point where it breaks and you need one, and you realise that you've used up all your resources and you cannot make another one. So always try and keep at least 1 hook spare, so it doesn't that doesn't bite you in the arse later on. So we're just gonna stick another couple of blocks up here, so we now have a little bit of room to move. Just grab these bits of plastic real quick. But yeah, if the stuff is floating towards where you can get to physically, don't waste your hook, because especially early on, you know the every time you throw your hook, you wear it out. So the less you can use it, because stuff's coming towards you, the less times you'll have to replace it. But obviously, barrels and things you do want to have a go on. Now, I will say that when you are playing this on the harder difficulty, where you do have to deal with the shark, the second item you want to craft as fast as possible is the wooden spear. Because, and again, if you can, make 2, so you've got 1 spare just in case you need it. This is important because this is what you jab when the shark comes up. It basically starts chewing on the side of your raft. It literally random, it can be anywhere, but you literally need to be jabbing him with your pointed stick. So that would be, on the harder difficulties, I would advise you to do that. So we'll just grab this barrel real quick. As you can see, the barrels do give us quite a nice bump in stuff. So what do we need now? So our water is starting to get a little bit down to half, and our food is not far behind it. So what we need to do now is we need to be able to sustain ourselves. So we just go down to up to the food tab. Now first off, you're going to need a cup. because you need a cup to fill things with. And then we need a simple purifier, which we have plenty of palm leaves and plastic, but we are short on planks. So we just need to find some planks real quick. Hopefully there should be some in there. And now we can make one. Now again, remember, you are going to need planks in order to actually, because what this does is it boils the water. So you use your cup, which so you basically fill it with seawater and then place it in there, and then it will burn, and then eventually you'll see the water move from that cup to that cup, and then you're able to drink it. So you want one of those early on. Now you can survive on eating the raw beets and potatoes, but they are better if they're cooked. So with that in mind, we need some more planks and we need some rope in order to create the simple grill. So let's just keep an eye. And you see what I mean about how quickly you can run out of resources, especially at the beginning. So keeping a spare hook and a spare spear just in case, because at this point when everything runs out and you're still trying to grab stuff, that will be the point the shark attacks. That will be the point that you get really hungry, and that will be the point that you have no way of doing anything about it. So we can switch back to our cup. Also guys, you can use your mouse wheel to scroll up and down through your inventory slots in your fast thing here. So we have that, so we press E, fill it with fresh water, and then we press S mouse and drink, and lo and behold, we are back in business. So I've just accidentally used the planks to fill that up. Now you can just about see over in the distance over there, there is an island just there. Unfortunately, we have no means whatsoever to get there right now. If we can, we will. It would be nice to show you an island straight off the bat, but I genuinely don't think we're going to have to. And again, I know I'm kind of ignoring my own advice here, but in order to try and keep this video somewhat short, I want to do like the basic bits to start with, and then we can spend more time exploring other things later on. So this barrel should give us enough to make the simple grill. So again, we just plus on those. As long as you've got them in the inventory slot, guys, either in your fast inventory or in your main inventory there. So we have a grill. And it will usually, if there's space, it will put it in your... In order to place things, they need to be in your fast inventory slot. So you need at least a couple of slots spare to be placing stuff like this. If it's just in your inventory, if you drag it and drop it out, like for example the plastic, it will literally just do that. It will drop up in a box. And the boxes do not stay long. So if you drop a box, and you have to be very quick about it, because they will disappear. It will, literally, they sit there for like a minute, and then they're gone. Okay, so we now have our simple grill. We need, obviously, remember that everything that you build that requires, you know, obviously a fire thing, needs fire to run. And we are just going to quickly, completely cock that up and grab these barrels real quick, because they are desperate. Don't worry too much about falling off your raft. It doesn't actually go too fast. I don't think I'm going to be able to reach that, no. Right, so what you then do is you scroll to your raw whatever it is, and then you plonk it on the grill, and that's it. The smaller grills, you can only do one item at a time, and when you start fishing and stuff, do you know what, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll leave that go on. So at the moment, you can literally... all you can do is those. So that's basically, so we've got our food, we've got our water, and we've got a bit of room to maneuver on the raft. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call it there for our first video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll try and keep this series up. I may chuck some extra ones up, because there is quite a lot to go through on this game. But yeah, I hope you all guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a rating. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.